The Rich Valvoline voice.
Waypoint of the 2020 season.
Steve and Kenny are terrible commentators.
What's up, guys? Those ones. Yo, what's up? Heading down to Auckland to do some voiceovers with the long arms of Larry for round 3. Should be good.
Show you a little bit of behind the scenes of how voiceover works and how a TV show comes together from the audio side of things. Kind of like we meet all these interesting people, and like we kind of want to
give back.
Just give back, but also just they're just so curious people that they're awesome to talk to, and just show off a little bit of what you don't see goes on that actually helps formulate the show that comes together. And you just watch it on TV and go, oh yeah, that was cool, but really there's a lot of work that goes in behind it and interesting people behind it too. So go and check out Larry and have a chat with him, and Steve's going to be there too, so
have a bit of fun. Have a mean catch up and get some work done. Some late night work.
What are we going to do about these? Are they guides?
Form of Cole Armstrong leads the series standings. Oh yeah, you can just delete that. That was just my editing, my guide. Okay.
All right, shall we get into it?
Yeah. Well, do you want to bust out the intro,
Sure.
Steve?
All good there.
That rich velvety voice.
The Rich Valvoline voice.
Okay, here it comes.
Round 3 of the 2020 Valvoline D1NZ Drifting Championship Series marks the halfway point of the season.
Also, pretty cool thing to be a part of, and we've got a lot of cool stuff in the works, unfortunately. But we're back for round 3, and we'll be back for 4 and 5 till the end of the season, so it should be a lot of fun.
The return of Darren Kelly may be a cat amongst the pigeons for the championship title fight. Valvoline D1NZ National Drifting Championship round number 3, Trustbound Bay Park Stadium in Mount Maunganui. The crowd is building, getting ready for some jam-packed drifting action. Steve Daniel joined with me, Kenny Ruddle. It's time to go drifting again.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. We're back in the concrete jungle, and it's great to see a big crowd starting to push through the gates here as we line up for I'll
just stop them pushing through the gate.
that top 5. And how will the championship play out this weekend? Well, we're about to check out highlights from what are we? Sorry. 128 ahead of Bruce Tannock and Dave Steedman, a pair of RBs.
Pair of RBs.
I'll just say rounding out the top 5. And after the first couple of rounds, on 128 ahead of Bruce Tannock and Dave Steedman, a pair of RBs, rounding out the top 5. And the championship is sure to heat up here as we reach the midway point of the 2020 season. The D1NZ Valvoline.
Rounding out the top 5, is that right?
Yeah.
Right, so do it again.
Okay. Bruce Tannock and Dave Steedman, a pair of RBs, rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, I suppose you're wondering why I've called you all here.
Contract.
Alright, so we're here at Larry's, who is our leading sound engineer wizard.
I mix all the drifting programs. I've been doing this for some time.
Some time.
Actually,
a number of years.
A number of years. I have watched these drifting guys get just a little bit older, and a little bit older. They all used to be really young guys, but now they're seasoned drifters, and mature dudes,
So we got STM. We just finished voiceover for the night and thought we'd actually sort of just document a little bit behind the scenes of
absolutely
of what we do. Yeah. Now you do a lot of motorsport, don't you?
I do.
And TV shows.
I have. I do motorsport. I've done a lot of jingles in the past years gone by. I'm still doing jingles actually, here and there. And what else do I? Oh, I do some stuff for a major promoter. At the moment he's fiddling with some podcasts. We're having a go at that.
Really?
So all sorts of things. Yeah.
So technology has obviously changed over the years as well, hasn't it?
I happen to be, the timing is perfect for me to have been the tape recorder guy to the digital zit guy. And people actually bring me, Did I ask for it? No. But they bring me old tape recorders because there's hardly to fix, because there's nobody else knows.
Does anyone still record on analog? Or?
Look, you would be amazed. There's a lot of young people, we're not talking old dudes here. A lot. There's a resurgence level of
the whole tape stop.
Amazing,
sound,
young women, some really cool people that are vehemently analog. That's all we'll do,
Wow, that's
very cool.
It's amazing. You'd be surprised, and that's why I get the machines to sort of look at, because they don't know where else to go. So I sort of, I fall in that hole.
And so, how hard is it to make me and Steve sound good?
Oh, it's okay. Because we only have these sort of mics that come off the headphones, and they're a bit basic. But the great thing is they're up close. And there's one thing these programs have with you guys is a lot of presence. There's nothing wimpy about your voiceovers. They're there in your face, and I like that. It's good, That's
so in terms of sort of the shows that you've seen too. I mean, like you say, you've been we've been coming here a long time.
Yeah.
And you've done a lot of motorsport. You've worked with a lot of people. What do you think about drifting as a sport that's sort of developing? It's sort of.
It's been amazing, and I've always liked doing the drifting, because when I get to mix it, there's a lot of noise. I can push it and go for it. Conversely, I've done other programs like rallies, and sometimes it's like very polite because you've got to hear what the guy's saying. But this is just a lovely chance to just push it. I think it has been amazing. It's really become. It's way past the boy racer part now, isn't it? It's really sort of into. It's a real sport. It's incredibly clever. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know, But it's great stuff, And all these names are so familiar to me,
So we've just finished show 3 of the 2020 season. So we've got 2 more shows to go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And just two more.
So news to you. No.
Oh no, that's all right. I did wonder about this because it all came to a grinding halt. Didn't it? We wonder what happened.
The new Toyota Corona, as dependable as the dawn, with a new style and beauty all of its own. Quiet, luxuriously roomy, efficient. The new Corona goes anywhere in style.
It's something special for you.
Yeah, the world's certainly changed, but no, we're coming on back. So we've got the next round at ASB Showgrounds and then the grand final at Pookie.
Okay.
So we've got a couple more shows to go. And how are you feeling so far this season? Because we've gone to a new format. We've gone to a 45-minute show, which I, as an editor, has found it really good. What do you think, Steve?
I enjoy the 45-minute show. The way that we do it, it's quite well structured at the start, and then after that it's free-flowing. The biggest thing for me is the beats and the music that happens in the background. So incredible, isn't it, Larry?
Oh, I love it. I do.
Who makes it? Is it a royalty-free track somewhere? It's incredible.
This guy.
No, I love all the music's great. I love it. I do beats myself sometimes. It must be when no one's looking. It has. It's 40. You see, you guys have got better at doing it too. So for me, 45 minutes isn't a big deal. When we first started doing these, the experience of even before you, the people who didn't have. I think Brendan used to do it too.
Let's throw him under the bus. Can I throw him under the bus? Yeah. So like Larry, Brendan White, he used to do this, and we'll take. We're at 47 minutes into our 45-minute show for us, so we're only 2 minutes over the actual time. Brendan White would take 7 to 8 hours, I believe.
I think our first one was something like that, Brendan. But it wasn't just him. There was a young lady involved, and the two of them used to giggle a lot, and it took forever to get through it. But
what do you mean, Steve? Bullshit and laugh a lot.
I don't actually find anything funny, so I never laugh.
No, this is good. I mean, you guys come to do this. It's a couple of hours. And that's good for me because it means I can fit to the budget.
Well, you've got time.
Yeah. I can fit to the budget.
He's got time.
I've got time.
Yes, I've got time.
That's mine. 1970.
Now, there's a pretty iconic photo that everyone that comes in here sees. the long arms of Larry.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, that was done in 1984 when we used to have. When I started working in studios, it wasn't my studio. I was working in a studio, and he had a little mixer and a tape recorder. And I used to do TV programs, and it was a video facility, and they went through a major upgrade. And so for the sound studio, they were going to get a big desk and a big multi-track machine, and it was hard to believe. And my friend of mine drew that before the gear arrived. This is what life was going to be like when the new gear arrived. And sure enough, eventually it did, and it was amazing. It went from this little sort of stuff to the big deal, And so that was, everybody envisaged me. It was great. I used to wear my red shoes. They're fading a bit now, but see, I've got them on today.
Can I ask, how many channel desks did you used to run back then?
It would have been. It was a 24 into 8 channel.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big disc, but it was certainly bigger than what we'd had before. But the tape machine was fantastic. We had a 2-inch Otari, a real. I think it's at Lab Studios now.
So speaking of jingles, just before we go, you went on 7 Days, which is a comedy show here in New Zealand for the international folk. But how was that? That was a bit.
It was amazing because I went on there, and they had said to me, if there's a guitar in the room, do you think you might? Yeah, okay. I don't think they really quite knew what was coming, because I'd rehearsed a medley of jingles that I'd done over the years, and there's some pretty well-known jingles.
Like what? And have you got a guitar?
Gotta get a garage, gotta get a garage,
gotta get a skyline.
Oh, damn.
There's one, but do you have a guitar in the room that you could show us one?
Oh, you're leading me up the
didn't know that.
I'll go and grab you one.
I didn't know that was you. What?
I could do, yeah.
Oh my.
I could do. The longest playing jingle I ever had was Gill Trap City Toyota. We're the one. See? I can.
Wow.
See?
Keep them rolling.
And then he walked on come on, let's go get outdoors with Jeff. Make the best of time that you got left. A hunting and a fishing under the sun. And even if the rain's gonna have some fun, come on, let's go get outdoors with Steve.
Well, that is brilliant. I love it.
I need a pick to play.
I have one in my pick pocket.
I got one here. Got that in it. So, funky up your bumper, baby. Funky up your bumper. Well, that shit.
That's quite a killer, because when I was growing up, I remember all of those.
Well, it's because
I remember all of those.
It's because I did it over a very long time. There were some silly ones, there were some dumb ones.
Another one.
I don't know. But I've just done one. I've just done one this week. I won't say what it is, but so they are ongoing. And some of them stick and have a life, and some of them just.
So if there was one that had to be said, and the lines were, Steve and Kenny are terrible commentators, how do you think it would go?
Steve and Kenny are terrible commentators. Yes, Steve and Kenny are terrible commentators. Well, they talk a lot of shit, but that's what it's all about.
That is brilliant. Thank you, Larry. That has been awesome.
Wow.